guys, this is Nasim, and today I'm going to be showing you a totally different DIY project. I'm going to show you how to make your own mirrored vanity. A couple weeks ago I was looking for mirrored vanities for my makeup table, and I came across this page on Instagram, Impressions Vanity. They have the most amazing products. So I went to their website and I chose the biggest mirror I could find because it was the only one I wanted. So because they're based in USA and I'm in Canada, the shipping for something so large and fragile was going to be well over $200. So that combined with the price of the actual mirror plus the price of the bulbs, the total would have cost me around $1,000. There is no way that I could get myself to spend $1,000 on a mirror. So the next best thing was for me to make one myself. I gave myself a budget of $50 to complete this, and I came well below the budget. So not only am I going to show you how to do the lights for your vanity, I'm also going to show you how to build a stand. I did it all for less than $40. So if you guys want to learn how to make this vanity along with a stand, just keep watching. Alright guys, because these are the things you're going to need. So the very first thing you need is obviously the lights. You could always go with bathroom vanity strip lights, but the problem with those is that you have to rewire them from the inside if you want to use them with extension cords. Now if you guys are like me and you feel really uncomfortable having to rewire something and you feel like you might set your house on fire by accident, then definitely go with string lights. These are the lights that I got off of Amazon. These were about $25. These can also be used indoors. These come with 25 bulbs. They're not as big as the bathroom ones, but since there's more, it's still going to be super bright. So the next thing you're going to need is a nice mirror. You don't have to go out and buy a new one. You can use whatever you have around the house. So the mirror I'm using is this nice mirror with a pretty silver trim. And I'm not sure how much this mirror was because I stole it from my mom's bathroom. The next thing you're going to need is 2 or 3 pieces of wood. So I got this from my home building store. This is in the lumber section, and this is the kind of wood that they use to build fences or decks. And this cost me about $2 a piece, and I only got 2 pieces. Now before you go to your home store to purchase these, make sure that you measure your mirror so you know exactly how long you need each piece to be. Because when you buy one of these pieces, the store is going to actually cut it for you for free. You're also going to need corner brackets. So these are the corner braces that I purchased. They came in a package like this one for about $3. You can also buy them on their own for about $1 each, but these ones had the screws with them, so I just got these instead. You're also going to need a screwdriver and some screws. If you have a mini drill like this one, it's going to save you a little bit of time. You're also going to need some measuring tape. You're also going to need a few pieces of felt. I bought this packet of 12 for $1. Next, you're going to need some strong tape. I'm just going to use duct tape, and this part is totally optional, but you can also use a little bit of spray paint just to make it look a little bit prettier. And finally, you're going to need a glue gun. You can get this from the dollar store, I think for about $2. So now that I have all this stuff here, let's start building this vanity. Alright guys, so here is the back of the mirror that I'm going to be using for my vanity. Since this is the longer side, this is the side that's gonna sit on my dressing table, and this is gonna be the top of my vanity. So basically, to make the stand, you're gonna need 5 pieces of wood, and here's how you're gonna measure them. The first piece, you're gonna need to find where your hooks are. So there's one hook right over here, and then you need a hook right across from it, right over here. So you're going to measure from this side right up until this side, which is 29 inches, so that's 1 piece of wood. And that is this one that I already had cut. Now, the next 2 pieces are going to be from the bottom right to the top. And the last 2 pieces you're gonna need are the ones that you're gonna be adding to the end over here with the corner braces, and that's basically gonna support the mirror just so you can sit it up on the table. So these were the 2 pieces of wood that were left over after I had this one cut to size, and these are gonna be attached right over here. So to start, just place these 2 together and bring them off to the side. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that long piece and the small piece that we're gonna put on the dressing table. The longer piece goes right up against the floor, and this one is just gonna slide up right next to it. So since these brackets are fairly small, I'm gonna end up using both of them and just put them like a couple inches apart, just so I have extra support for my mirror. And if you are by yourself, it's a lot easier if you get someone to help you. So you're gonna screw these in, and you're gonna do the exact same thing to the other 2 pieces. So this is what the two finished stands are going to look like. Now let's move on to the next step. Okay, so I've set these two stands aside, and now we're just gonna bring the mirror back. And by the way, if you do this on carpet, it's gonna be a lot better because you're not gonna be damaging the nicer side of your mirror on your floor. So for this part, you wanna make sure that all of your measurements are gonna be correct. This was the one piece of wood. We're gonna be putting one screw here and one screw over here. And basically these two hooks are gonna be hanging on the two screws. So I'm just gonna measure right from the top. I'm gonna put my screws in at 2 inches. So I'm just gonna make a mark over here on the wood. Okay, and I'm gonna make a mark on this side as well. Since the screws are right to the end, you really wanna just mark it right to the end. Okay, so now that you have your mirror back over here, just go ahead and take the paper off. So I just went ahead and took the paper off because at the end, it's gonna be a lot easier for the tape to stick to this wooden plasticky part as opposed to the paper. I'm just gonna take that one piece of wood. Now you're just gonna take 2 screws and you're gonna screw them into the area. And don't screw them all the way because you're gonna need some space for the hooks to hang on to. Alright, so once you're done putting the screws in, just go ahead and let this screw sit right in the middle of this hook. And same with this one, sitting right in the middle of this hook. Now you're going to take your longer pieces of wood and just lay them flat. So for the vanity, this is gonna be the bottom of the vanity, but I don't want the bottom of the mirror touching my table. So now make sure that you measure this out properly, otherwise your mirror is gonna end up sitting crooked. So I'm gonna take my tape measure and measure 3 inches. So I'm gonna move this forward a bit. So measure on this side, measure on this side, because then that's gonna mean that it's gonna be totally straight. And then same with this. Okay, so that's all 3 inches. So before I screw these two pieces in together, I'm just going to move the mirror out of the way because I don't want to end up breaking my mirror. So line the wood back up the way it was before. And before you go ahead and put all of your screws in, you don't want to mess up, so just go ahead and measure one more time to make sure that it's all at the right spot. So next you're going to go ahead and take your screws and put 4 on each side and make sure that this stand is on the outside of this piece. Alright, so now that the whole stand is done, I'm just going to take this outside and spray paint the whole thing. Alright guys, so I ended up painting a little bit because the fumes from the paint can were making me a little bit high. So, alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the bottom side of this stand and just put some felt on it with some hot glue. Because this is wood and it's not really sanded down, so you don't really want to damage your table. So just get your glue gun and glue all of these pieces on. So this is the area that I'm going to put the stand and the mirror. Back there's nothing really supporting it, so you're just going to have to put something heavy just to make sure that the stand doesn't topple over to the front. Alright guys, so I went ahead and put the mirror up on a stand and something heavy in the back. And the next thing I'm going to do is put the lights on. So I put little markings ahead of time in all of the spots that I'm going to be putting my bow. Now if the frame of your mirror is fairly wide, you can get away with sticking your lights on here with hot glue. Otherwise, if your frame is not as thick, you can actually just tape the light to the back of the frame and it's going to look almost pretty much the same. Alright guys, so this is all done, the DIY vanity mirror. If you guys like this tutorial and would like to see more tutorials similar to this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel like I saved you hundreds of dollars as well, make sure you share the video with all of your friends. You can follow me on my Instagram, Nasim, and all of my social media accounts listed in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.